Have you ever wanted something so desperately that you became so devastated after so many failed attempts? You ever longed for something so deeply that you even lost interest in life when it didn't happen? Judith, I have been doing this for years. It's 6 years now, but it's still the same. I can't do this anymore. This is something one of you guys wrote to me. What if you give your all? What if you give that goal your all and it's still the same? What if you give it your 100% and it's still the same? First and foremost, I'm sending you hugs. Yeah. And I want you to know that it's okay. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to feel how you're feeling. And thank you so much for trusting me to take you through this. Hello you guys, welcome back to another classic episode of Becoming Better at Humanity. If you're new here, my name is Judith and I use my life lessons to train people to get into their greatness. Wherever you are, whatever it is that you're engaged in, I'm here every Monday to remind you that you have greatness in you. Yeah, you have the ability to do more than you can imagine or even begin to imagine. On today's episode, I want us to talk about what if you give that goal, you give that challenge your all, your 100%, and it's still the same? What if you show up every single day, but nothing seems to change? What if you get weak on the way? What happens? This is going to be a long video, so I'll do a part 1. Next week I'll do a part 2 until we are done. So stay tuned. And from the last 2 episodes, I talked about self-discipline, and I also said the last episode I talked about how to stay committed, how to keep your commitments. And if you have not watched those 2 episodes, you're missing out, or any of my videos. I want to remind you, and for those who haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out each time I post a video. So what happens if you get tired on the way? The number one thing that you're supposed to do is to take responsibility. No excuses. Take responsibility for your own actions. Taking responsibility means accepting the consequences of your actions. We have that power to make decisions. We've always had that power, and we'll always have that power. Taking responsibility means that you acknowledge the role you play in your own life, the good and the bad bits. It's you looking at yourself in the mirror and acknowledging that I made some choices, I got me here, I let me down, and I owe me an explanation. I remember back in high school, some years back, my biggest struggle was mathematics. I was not so good with numbers. And guys, I have tried to avoid these numbers my whole life. But I keep bumping into these numbers. Through uni, my daily hustle, sometimes I feel like these numbers are always there to haunt me, like, what about us? You see how like you tried so hard to get through that unit, and then when you get to this other semester, it's still there. When you get to this other stage of life, it's there. Sometimes I feel they're there to haunt me. But it is what it is. So every time my dad could come to visit, this is the only thing we could talk about. And apparently my dad wanted me to pursue something relating to this mathematics. That is after high school. So when my dad, because I knew this is what my dad could scold me about, I was always prepared. So every time my dad could come, Judith, what did you score? What did other people score? What happened? What did we agree on? I could present him with a list of excuses. Dad, it's the teachers. They have not been coming to class. Dad, it's the syllabus. Dad, the teachers set the exams from where they had not taught. Dad, the administration, they gave us bad food. I have been sick. Dad, it's other students. Dad, it's the matron. The excuses could go on and on. We are so quick to do the blame games. You wake up in the morning, instead of taking responsibility of your finances, instead of taking responsibility of your life, you start blaming the economy, you start blaming the government, you start blaming the government, you start blaming the rich, you start blaming your family, you start blaming your relatives for your misfortunes. Of course, I know that people and other factors have an influence, but you are responsible for your own actions and anything that happens within the boundaries of your control. Excuses will always be there waiting to be used, and anyone can find absolutely any excuse for anything. But what is unfortunate, guys, is that the excuses don't count. They don't matter. What really matters are the results. And guys, after I could finish presenting these excuses to my dad, he could look at me with that look. I know you're lying, but let us wait and see what will come up with next time. Then you will say, Judith, I hear your excuses, but my biggest worry from your list of excuses is that you're not on that list. Yes, these other people must have contributed to you not getting an A. But what is your contribution? And it made sense, you guys. What is your contribution? Guys, this is something that I have come to realize, that as I kept blaming other people, I never got anything done. In fact, it got to a point I started believing that everybody else was at fault except me. I started believing in my own lies, and I never got anything done. And today, guys, I want to dare you to own your failures. You will not like it because it tastes like shit. You will not like it. And because you will not like it, you will change the situation. When you can't blame anyone but yourself, you will fight. You will fight to change the situation. You will never be the same again. And guys, by taking responsibility of your own actions, by taking responsibility of your life, you realize that that weight falls off your shoulders because you have no guilt, no shame hanging over your head over every decision that you make. You're likely to be more productive when you don't feel any shame, when you don't regret anything. You are at peace. When you are not embarrassed about anything. Yes, life happens. I made some bad choices. So what? I decided to give myself a chance to be better. I remember, guys, I shared with you in the last 2 episodes, I spoke about my weight loss journey. And I told you guys that how that was a struggle. I wanted to get into shape so bad. How that was a struggle. But it was until when I realized that this cannot be just it for my life. It was after realizing that I was seriously not serious before that I radically changed my diet and my lifestyle. Instead of throwing myself pity parties, I chose to give myself a chance. I looked at myself in the mirror and I said that, Judith, you need to do better. I decided to give myself a chance to be better. And I can proudly say that, guys, I love it here. And so, stop the blame games. Accept that you are responsible for your own life. You are responsible for your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your words. And nobody else can make you think, feel, say, or do anything. No matter what they do, you still are responsible for your own actions. And one important thing I want to remind you guys is that you are responsible for your own happiness. Don't just sit there waiting for people to make you happy. Happiness comes from within. It's not dependent on people, circumstances, or situations. Situations might change. Relationships may end. We might lose everything that we own. And if we pin our happiness on these things, we will always be at their mercy. So guys, life is now, this moment. The past is history. The future is a mystery. What you have is this moment. So take responsibility of this moment and make the best out of it. Redeem the past and create the future that you want. Accept that you're human and we are not perfect. We make mistakes, and do just what you can to fix the situation. Involve God. Ask Him to grant you the serenity to accept the things that you cannot change, the courage to change the things that you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Take responsibility of your greatness. Don't let anyone take that courage walk away from you. And know, guys, that excuses will only keep you in the victim mode, robbing you of changing the situation. Thank you so much for giving me a few minutes of your time. Thank you so much for your love and support. For the new subscribers, we love you here. Welcome and feel at home. For the returning subscribers, I love you always. I don't take your support for granted. And for those who haven't subscribed, please go subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out each time I post a video. And until next week, thank you and have a fantastic time.